Good morning, Minnesota. What a beautiful day it is. I'm your host, Britton Fuelseth, the Minnesota State FFA reporter. Today I'm coming to you from a bull ring. Do I know why? No. Do I care why? No. But riddle me this. What do you call a sleeping bull? A bulldozer. Anyway, this is the Good Morning Show, so let's get going. We have a great day in store. Today, the last day of our virtual convention, we will recognize Food and Social System SAEs, hear retiring addresses from Nick and Leigh, and learn the top results, state stars, top 10 chapters, and the new state officer team. You can find today's detailed schedule on the convention app or on our website at mnffa.org. We're excited to kick off today, but we also have some special greetings and messages from people who also want to start today with us. Let's check it out.
Hello, Minnesota FFA members, advisors, and supporters. I'm very grateful to join you for this unique Minnesota virtual FFA State Convention. While we may not be together in person, I applaud your attendance and engagement in this convention. I also admire the leadership of your state leadership team and state officers, including your State FFA President, Leif Arsvold, State Program Director, Zane Sheehan, and State FFA Executive Secretary, Julia Toloski. Each of these individuals deserves recognition for their efforts to deliver this state convention in these unusual times. I also want to send a special recognition to Mr. Ed Terry of the Randolph FFA chapter as he celebrates 50 years of teaching ag education. Mr. Terry started the Randolph program and is now seeing the third generation of students in his classroom. His dedication and commitment to students should serve as an example for all of us. In March, when governors and leaders across the nation began to make announcements that closed our schools for significant periods, my heart broke. I knew these decisions meant delayed plans and canceled field trips. Activities and ceremonies recognizing accomplishments and graduations would change considerably or happen not at all. In FFA, it meant significant disruptions to banquets, contests, and conventions. But disruption is only temporary, and that's why we're here today. Even in an unusual setting, these moments are important. A state convention is an opportunity to celebrate the accomplishments of FFA members. Many of you have earned recognition through determination, effort, and hard work. You've reached goals and grown along the way. I can tell you that your efforts to achieve goals is putting you on a path to success. I know this because I've lived it. As a young student in Georgia, my mom had a vision for me. She wanted me to become the first in our family to graduate from high school. She knew that the diploma would open many opportunities for me, and she was correct. It opened the door for me to continue my education to a doctorate level and work to provide opportunities for other young students for my entire professional career. I also had teachers and advisors along the way that challenged me to stay on track as I pursued my goals. My agriculture teacher pushed me to lead and learn and help me overcome many obstacles, including poverty, reading challenges, and speech issues. He helped me earn the opportunity to attend the Georgia FFA State Convention, which at that time was mostly attended by award winners and degree recipients. I can still remember the goosebumps that ran down my spine the first time I joined hundreds of other FFA members for the opening ceremonies. I'll never forget joining in unison as we answered, "FFA members, why are we here?" And I'll also never forget hearing my name called as I earned my state FFA degree. It was an emotional moment for my family and me. It was a chapter in life accomplished through the help of teachers and school leaders who challenged me to stay on track with my goals, family members who kept me from going astray, and the community provided a village approach to ensuring my success. Being awarded the highest degree a state association could bestow on a member. During this convention, members and families have the same opportunity to celebrate. Ag teachers and FFA advisors will see how they played a role in making a difference in the lives of their students. And communities can take pride in their investment of time and resources for the future. As your National FFA advisor, I applaud the efforts of your leaders for taking on a "we will make this happen" type attitude. This is a very different delivery of a state convention. However, parents, teachers, sponsors, and your community still have a chance to celebrate your success stories. During this pandemic moment, I challenge you to keep in mind the need to serve others. A line in the FFA motto states, "Living to serve." Allow your life to model that of being a servant to others. Reflect on those around you and be intentional in finding opportunities to help those who are less fortunate than you. These efforts will help you recognize and appreciate your blessings. A few years ago, I visited the Theodore Roosevelt Monument in Washington, D.C. I read a quote inscribed on a monument wall and reflected on the future for young people. It said, and I quote, "Be practical as well as generous in your ideas. Keep your eyes on the stars, but remember to keep your feet on the ground." Courage, hard work, self-mastery, and intelligent effort are all essential for a successful life. But character in the long run is the decisive factor in the life of an individual and of nations alike. End quote. I wish you success, and I encourage you to continue to do the little things in life, as they will help set the foundation for your greatness. Thank you.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for having me and celebrating convention this year in a very special way. You know, on my way over here this morning, there were a lot of things going through my mind. And I have to admit, some of those things were about my life outside of FFA. For instance, I've been meaning to call my grandma. I meant to schedule a doctor's appointment, and I really should order some things from Walmart the next time that I get the chance. Another thing that's been on my mind though is about a birthday present that I have to get for a friend back home. And that is a whole beast in of itself. I mean, a birthday present for a good friend. I have known this person for years, and I really want to get her something that matters. When I started thinking about everything that I could get for my friend, I started thinking about some of the best birthday presents that I've ever gotten. And this made me wonder about some of the best birthday presents that all of us have ever gotten. And since we don't have the chance to talk about this next question, feel free to just think about it to yourself. What is the best gift that you have ever gotten? Something that you really wanted, that had been on your wish list for months. Got it? Remember the moment when you ripped open the package and saw what was inside? What did it feel like? For me, when I ripped open my dream package, I felt on top of the world. Y'all get this. I got a 2006 black Mustang GT, remote control car. My 8-year-old self was ecstatic. I remember it like it was yesterday. I ripped open the package, looked and saw what was inside, did a little happy dance, ran over, gave my parents a giant hug, and thanked them roughly 100 times. I'm sure the look on my face gave away how excited I was to get this thing. Now though, the other end of the spectrum. What is a gift that you have gotten that definitely wasn't on your wish list? An ugly sweater? A bag with the entire High School Musical cast on it when you were in middle school? No one? Just me? That's okay, Grandma. I know you meant well. We rip open the package, look and see what's inside and think, what the heck? And our reaction goes a little something like this.
Avocado! Thanks!
Just like this kid, we say thank you, but a little less enthusiastically. Whether we're given something that we really want or not, hopefully all of us say thank you for the gifts that we're given. The crazy thing is that most people only say thank you for the gifts that they're given that can be held in their hands. What happens when we're given a gift that can't be wrapped up in a package? This thought came to me a mere 2 months ago. I was going through an old FFA jacket. Maybe you've done this too. You take your jacket out of the closet after a little while and dig around in the pockets. When we're going through the pockets of our jackets or even sports bags or wallets, we can find a lot of interesting things. For instance, last time I went through my jacket, I found a crumpled up dollar bill, a chapstick that I swore I lost, and a penny. I also found a worn out note that had clearly spent some time chilling inside of my jacket pocket. I carried this note with me everywhere for 4 years of high school and even after. In fact, I had this note with me on the day that I got elected to national office. When I pulled out this note again and looked at it, I was flooded with memories. This note was a time machine, and the story of it requires us to flash back to 6 years ago, to when I was a freshman in high school. I was the definition of awkward in 9th grade. I was super, super small for my age, and my self-confidence was about as big as my height. Picture this, I am this tall, had huge glasses, and a haircut that wasn't cute. In fact, some people have told me that I looked like Harry Potter. Flattering compliment for a teenage girl, I know. Flash forward a couple months, Harry Potter Tess walks herself into FFA camp. I had a fun time at camp, sleeping in the bunkhouse, beating the July summer heat in the pool, and playing way too many games of Capture the Flag. I had an awesome time at camp, but I left feeling like the same awkward little kid that had arrived. Luckily for me, we have a camp tradition where we write happygrams or encouraging notes to other campers. You know, thinking about that now, I've never really known what to write on those things, like, you're cool, glad we met, keep in touch, here's my email, or whatever. But as I looked in my bag on the way home from camp that year, I saw a note that taught me what a happygram should look like. And that note was from someone that I looked up to. On the note were the simple words, I believe in you. Whoa, hold up, this person who I looked up to believed in Harry Potter Tess? It might sound simple, but that note was powerful because it was the last thing that I expected to see in my bag that year. Even though it was just a simple little note, it made a difference. Looking at this note, my heart was full of gratitude. This was the first time in my life I had ever heard these words from someone that wasn't a blood relative. As much as that note meant to me, however, I was faced with a real dilemma when looking at it. Whoa, this is the nicest thing that someone has ever said to me. But where do I go from here? Do I tell them thank you? Maybe. But that would be way too weird, way too awkward, way too uncomfortable. I'm just not going to say anything. Yeah, I'm just going to keep this one to myself. And that's exactly what I did. For 4 years, I tucked that note inside of my jacket pocket and kept it all to myself. For a point of reference, 4 years is how long it would take to watch over 34,000 episodes of Grey's Anatomy or any other show that's an hour long. Contest after contest, camp, convention, you name it, that note was there. That note was my motivation to start believing in myself. Of all the things that note gave me the courage to do, though, I never had the courage to say thank you to its author. I just kept it to myself for 4 years. 4 years is how long it takes to drive from my home state of Virginia all the way to California 867 times. For some of us, we say thank you to others immediately. For other people like me, though, it takes a while if we ever say thank you. Why? Why don't we say thank you even when we know that we should? I'll tell you why. It is awkward to tell someone that they have changed your life. First of all, how do you even put into words a life-changing impact? How do you even begin to tell someone, my life is better because of you, and here's why? 2, 9 times out of 10, there are some crazy emotions wrapped up in this conversation. Through tears in our eyes, a quiver in our voice, or something else, we try to say something so important, and it comes out sounding like Chewbacca. Putting ourselves in a situation like this is vulnerable. It's uncomfortable. It can even be scary at times. What if they don't even remember the thing that they did to change my life? What if they think that I'm weird for telling them how I really feel? Besides the fact that it could be awkward to have this conversation, sometimes we just put it off. We think that person's always going to be there, or I'll tell them the next time I see them. Y'all, what if we lose the chance to tell someone how much they really mean to us? We find all of these reasons to not say thank you, instead of finding one reason to say just 2 words. Flash forward 4 years, I finally found the courage to say those 2 words. 4 years is how long it took me to believe in myself. Sure, the conversation was kind of awkward. Sure, I cried because of how much that note meant to me. Sure, the thank you wasn't super beautiful, but that wasn't what mattered. What mattered was that even after 4 years, I'd finally said thank you. After 4 years, I'd finally told someone how I really felt. We need to move past the idea of how awkward this conversation could be and just do it. Sure, it could be awkward and uncomfortable, but it will be so worth it. The hard trick is that we are already trying to figure out a whole lot at our age. Questions like, what's my job gonna be? And am I gonna go to college? And how am I gonna get all my homework done and my chores and hang out with my friends consume our minds? Another question that we ask ourselves, maybe a bigger question, is where do I belong? One thing that really matters in school is the cafeteria. The school cafeteria, a place where all of us can sit in one room, catch up on the latest gossip, and eat something delicious, or not. Right here, you have the football players. Over there, the popular girls, and in the back, the band kids. For kids like me, though, I didn't feel like I fit at any one of those tables. I felt like no matter where I sat, that I wouldn't be accepted, that I was too quiet, or too smart, or too weird. I didn't have anywhere to sit and catch up on gossip or eat a snack. I didn't have anywhere to belong in the cafeteria. Every day when I heard the lunch bell ring, I had so much anxiety that I felt like crying. Outside of the school cafeteria, though, my high school superhero was a lady by the name of Mrs. Wimmer. Mrs. Wimmer was a 5'7" lady with at least 7 feet worth of sass in her. Mrs. Wimmer always had her coffee in hand and her hair done. Mrs. Wimmer was the best teacher at our school. Every day, whether we were learning a science experiment or something from the textbook, Mrs. Wimmer made it feel like it mattered. And one day, Mrs. Wimmer changed my life. The thing that Mrs. Wimmer did to change my life wasn't giving me extra credit on a test or even having some super deep life conversation. The thing that Mrs. Wimmer did to change my life was opening her door. Mrs. Wimmer saved kids like me from a friendless cafeteria fate. During lunch, she would catch up on grading or run some errands, but that wasn't what mattered. What mattered was that for 25 minutes a day, I felt like I belonged at school. All she did was open her door, but that open door made a difference. Here's the thing. I have yet to tell Mrs. Wimmer how much this really means to me. I keep putting it off and thinking the next time I see her, I'll tell her. As much as I believe in the importance of telling people thank you, I'm definitely not perfect in this area. This challenges me to change, though. And that change can start now. The next time I'm able to look Mrs. Wimmer in the eye, I hope the thank you goes a little something like this. Mrs. Wimmer, thank you. Thank you for opening your door. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you for helping me feel like I belonged. Who are the people who have changed your life? A teacher? Your advisor? A parent? A student? A coach? Who are the people that you need to say thank you to? Why do we let these people walk around and never know how much they really mean to us? Here's how impact goes. Someone does something. That something impacts us. If we think of impact like a loop, never saying thank you never closes that loop. We let people who have fundamentally changed our lives walk around and not even know it. Another reason to say thank you, when someone changes your life, they uplift you. What does that even mean? They bet on you. They say, kid, you're worth it. That person wasn't required to do the thing that they did. When someone goes above and beyond, they do it intentionally. When someone is brave enough to uplift us, we have to be brave enough to uplift them. We uplift others by saying thank you. Hopefully, all of us watching this video want to make a positive impact on the world. Hopefully, we all want to make a difference. The thing is, we do make a difference every single day. A difference was made in my life through a note and a brown paper bag. Mrs. Wimmer made a difference by opening her door. A difference was made through small, intentional actions. We can all make a difference by saying thank you to the people who have made a difference in our lives. Every one of us watching this video right now, regardless of our age, background, experience, anything, has the ability to say thank you. So let's start. We have started a social media challenge. My challenge to you is to sincerely tell someone thank you. After you do, grab a picture of them and post it on social media using hashtag FFA Gratitude. Now, the reason we're posting isn't to make ourselves feel better, but it's to encourage other people to do the same. Now is also an awesome time to write some happy grams to people. Find a piece of paper, write a note, and drop it in the mail. If neither of these two things strike your fancy, pick up the phone and call someone. Say thank you to the people who have believed in you. Say thank you to the people who have made you feel like you belong. It doesn't matter how you do it. Just say thank you. Y'all, thank you so much for having me tonight, and have an amazing convention.
Thank you. As we start today, be sure to connect with us. Check out the workshops and panels offered at 10, 11, and 1, and plan to join us for our very first FFA After the Gavel talk show. Also, today's social media challenge is leadership. Share a photo of yourself leading in action. Maybe it's taking charge in your supervised agricultural experience, taking control in a Parley Pro contest, or seizing the opportunity to serve others with a service project. Tell us how you illuminate the world through your leadership and tag us at MNFFA. Be sure to use our hashtags of IlluminateFFA and MNFFA. We'll be sharing them all day long. It's about time to get started, so let's illuminate the greatness today has in store.